This Mike, NoStressMike.com. It's summer, middle of July, and it's been really hot. And but it's rained this morning, and look at the garden. Garden's doing good. Everything's doing really well. And we get some rain now, so we're going to have hay, and it kind of cools it down some, so that's going to be nice. But anyway, what I want to talk about is a little bit more on the three-man militia. And I think I've covered everything on the three-man militia. And I'll put the link down below, and then you can see, I don't know, there's probably a couple hundred videos just on that. But anyway, it's been so hot, I can't normally come into the bus. So I thought, okay, this is a good time. We'll make a video on the bus, or not the bus, but we'll make it in the bus. And you can see it's getting kind of junked up. I've been cooking the Chinese food, and then like I say, I've got tools. I've got all my junk in back, and more food. I'm getting ready for my Nashville trip. But anyway, the thing is, like I say, on a three-man militia, we're probably, we are in a small community, and there's other small communities around us. I mean, we're not even a town or a township. And but there are these small towns all around us. Remember, I'm in Oklahoma, but out here in this part of the country, you find a lot of towns that they run about 15 miles, maybe 20 miles apart. And the reason is, when they settled this part of the country, they just think horseback ride, or in a wagon, and as far as you can travel on a horse is, like I say, 15 to 20 miles a day. So that's why these towns are that far apart. Now, the reality is, in a shit-hits-the-fan situation, these small communities will survive one way or another. They're going to, because we produce more than what we can consume in these small areas. Now, so I'm not really worried. Like I say, I'm here. I've helped organize the people here, and we're pretty much okay. But the thing is, because we're small communities, we are vulnerable in not so much on a forceful takeover, such as the large city people coming out. I'm not really that much concerned. Because, like I say, people out here will do what they got to do to protect their areas. Now, but one thing there is, we do have to figure not all communities have the same skill set. They all don't have the same three-man militias. Like I say, we got the three-man militias and all different kinds of three-man militia in communications, three-man militia in gardening, three-man militia in water treatment, three-man militia in electric, three-man militias in everything. I told you it was based on my experience in the Marines. And so we had three-man units, and they all specialized in all different kinds of stuff, and they crossed over, specialized in different stuff. But we do have to be able, and I never wanted to do this before, we have to be able to go to a different area because our skills might be needed in another area. And this is one of the things a militia doesn't work well when it's outside its home area. It does work, but it's much more difficult. A good example would be the Alamo. The Alamo, I think it was like there's 200 and some people at the Alamo. I think 7, maybe 8 of them were from Texas. The rest of them came from somewhere else. And they were militia. There's no doubt about that. They weren't three-man militias. In other words, they had skills, but mostly it was just survival skills and, combat type skills and this type of stuff, because they traveled. I mean, there were some from Europe, a lot from the East Coast, coming over there to defend freedom. And this is something that we as three-man militias are going to have to think on, and we need to figure. And so what I'm doing now is I'm making connections to neighboring communities, making connections in the way of introducing myself and letting them know what kind of programs we got running over here. We've already set up where we can take in people not from our area, refugees, or, in other words, helpers, three-man militias that we're going to be needing help with. We've got facilities, we got plans on how to take care of everybody that comes in, that we want to come in. And so like I say, it was a big deal for me making that jump from taking care of the home, the block, the neighborhood, to leaving the neighborhood. Because now the kind of stuff I'm in, I'm not in the gardening militia. So, gardening militia might take their shovels and rakes with them when they go from one area to another. I'm not in that militia. And so I take certain things, and when I get to an area, I expect them to have other things that I need. And so, and like I say, I specialize in other things, and very few people specialize in the stuff that I do. So when I come in, I have to organize and prepare people, but they have to have the tools to do it. And, the tools is guns and ammunition. I bring in tactics, and I teach how to use these tactics. So, that's what I've been doing, is trying to figure out how I can go to different areas. And that's why you see, I went to Indiana, going to Nashville. These are all, this is what happens. Most militias, I don't expect them to go that far. Like I say, I mostly teach when I'm going out to all these places. But at the same time, I try to make sure there's an understanding. Everybody understands their moral responsibilities. Because now, after shit hits the fan, it's not our legal responsibilities. It's our moral responsibilities. And those can only be taken care of if we have the personal responsibility. Because a lot of people won't. They're going to be scared. Even right now, people are scared. What gets me right now is how people, I would think, they would be out of debt. Because any time, when shit hits the fan, you have no steady income. So shit hits the fan, that is a shit hits the fan situation. It doesn't necessarily mean the whole world just buckled under. Shit hits the fan could be when you lose your job. And I'm right now with President Trump, the best we can do to support him is to prosper, to improve our lives. And that doesn't mean putting yourself in debt. That means thinking, take advantage of the opportunities we have. Like I say, remember I was talking about when I was in Indiana, I was talking to a dentist that's wanting to improve his life. It's not financial improvement. And that's what I'm saying. Improvement isn't always financial. So we need to improve our lives, our health, getting good habits. There's a lot of things we can do. And three-man militia is a good place to start and to make it work. Check out my videos, and that'll show you the tactics and help you get in the mindset. It's not all tactic. Well, it's tactic. Getting the mindset is a tactic. And I talk about all levels, how it works, and like I say, how to get things done. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.